What up, guys? The Bench Buddies are back with our NFL wildcard preview and picks. As always, I have Ethan joining me here
What's up, guys?
to make our selections. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Get us to 500, where we will be doing autographed item giveaway. Could be a jersey, shoe, cleat, whatever you name it. It could be one of those items. So all you have to do is hit that subscribe button. But we'll get into last week's picks. And Ethan, obviously, you came away the big winner last week, as I'm 6 down heading into the playoffs, so I have an uphill climb ahead of me. But we'll say, what was the either most disappointing game for you last week or the most surprising as well?
Well, I'll start with the most disappointing, and obviously that's going to be the Jets only scoring 6 points against Miami. That really hurt. Now Miami's in the playoffs, which congratulations to them, but it's going to be Skylar Thompson heading into this week, so not very exciting. And then surprising, man, I'd say that Detroit Green Bay game. I mean, once Seattle won and knocked out the Lions, I really thought as a better, maybe Detroit's a good play, but you think Green Bay's got to take care of business there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I think the Jets could have done a little better there. But my most surprising was, I think the Ravens not showing up, even though they know that they have to show up this week because they play the Bengals again. It just seems like they didn't really care because, they already clinched a playoff spot. And the Bengals really took it to them. But for me, most surprising, I mean, I'm not even going to say Green Bay. I think it's Dallas. They had the chance to get the 1 seed if they won, and then obviously had to have a few things happen, but they did not show up at all. I think they're 1-4, 1-5 on grass fields this year, and they're heading to Tampa this weekend, which is a big concern there. Dak, leads the league in interceptions, only playing 12 games, and it's just, concerning for Cowboys fans. But we'll jump into this week's picks, and we'll start with Seattle getting in with that Green Bay loss, going to San Francisco. And you can see, obviously, we're both going with the Niners here, and it's kind of hard to bet against the Niners. They're on a 10-game win streak. This team was 3-4 at one point, and, now here they are at 13-4. Brock Purdy is going to be the only question for this team. Obviously, rookie year. He's not even supposed to be the second string quarterback, but here he is starting a playoff game. Obviously, he doesn't have any experience with that. So he could struggle early, but I don't think the talent-wise is going to really factor in as much in the second half because I think the Niners are just the better team.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you there. I do think it could start close with Purdy being a rookie quarterback and Pete Carroll and his guys having nothing to lose. They're playing with house money here. So an upset in the playoffs, you never really know, but got to go with a better team here. They should beat them up. It's hard beating a team a third time, but I just think San Francisco is much better than Seattle.
And then after that one, we got our first disagreement, the Chargers and the Jaguars. And this game, I really think, is a coin flip kind of game. Chargers might even fire their coach if they lose this game. And the Jaguars, aren't even supposed to be here in year one of Doug Peterson. And Trevor Lawrence is the reason why I am going with this pick. Keenan Allen is pretty much the only consistent weapon Herbert has besides Eckler, because Mike Williams is ruled out. And, this Lawrence-led team just seems like they get it done when it's needed most. And I really want to see this team win a playoff game. And it could be bright things to come for them in the future in later years if they get this win.
I was torn with this pick. Decided to go with the Chargers. I just think last week was basically a playoff game for Jacksonville, and Lawrence, and not even just Lawrence, the whole team just looked like they were playing with some stress, and they knew what was going on in that game. So not a very good look there. They did come out with the win because of that big defensive touchdown at the end of the game, but I think the Chargers are going to be playing loose. Got a lot of talent. They want to go. They want to go win this game to see the Chiefs next week. So I'm taking the Chargers here, even without Mike Williams.
And then moving to Sunday, you have what should be probably the biggest blowout of the wildcard round this year. Dolphins going with Skylar Thompson as the starting quarterback versus Josh Allen in Buffalo. And that's why that line is so big. And I might even take that line of 13.5, just because I think Buffalo will dominate this one. A home playoff game, Damar Hamlin more than likely will be there because, he's discharged from the hospital now in Buffalo and he's, with the team and whatnot. So he will be there. If he's there, in attendance, that place is going to erupt and go crazy. And,
Yeah.
Miami limps into the playoffs going 1 and I think it was 6 to get in the last 7 games to get in. So the Bills have everything going right for them, and the Dolphins do not. So I got to go with Buffalo.
Going with Buffalo as well. I think with Tua, this game's closer to a 7.5 point spread for the Bills, 6.5. But obviously they don't got Tua or Teddy Bridgewater, and they're rolling with the rookie quarterback and Skylar Thompson. I just don't think that offense is going to be able to move the ball enough to beat the Bills. It's just you saw it last week against the Jets. They couldn't really move the ball, and the Jets have a good defense, but the Bills offense is going to score more than 9 points. So Bills should win and cover.
And then you have us both taking an upset here with the Giants going on the road into Minnesota and getting that win. I think they can win this game just because one, Kirk Cousins is in prime time, and we know how Cousins does in prime time. Two, the
Yeah.
Giants lost on a game-winning field goal in Minnesota just a month ago, and it was his career long for Greg Joseph. And three, I really think this Giants-led team, the defense doesn't get talked about enough. This defense is a very good defense, and I think they will show up and shut down Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, and also the in that game, the Vikings had a block punt, a 61-yard field goal, I believe some sort of roughing the passer penalty going the Vikings' way. So a lot of things went well for the Vikings in that game, and I know they're 13-0 in one-score games, but they're being outscored by their opponents, and that's just not good for a 13-4 team. I think the Giants run the ball here. Minnesota has the worst running defense in the league. I think I'm feeling very comfortable with this pick and feeling good about the Giants W here.
And Sunday night, in a game that we thought could have been a lot better than last week's matchup. Unfortunately, it's not going to be. Tyler Huntley is trending to not play the game. Obviously, Lamar is already ruled out. So it's going to go Anthony Brown versus Joe Burrow. And, well, frankly, the Bengals should dominate this one, to put that pretty lightly. If they don't win by 10 or more here, or if they don't even win at all, then I think this season is just thrown in the trash can if you're a Bengals fan here. You go 12-4, lose a home playoff game to a division rival, something you don't want to look back on. But that's talking negatively, talking down on the Bengals, because this team seems like they're on a crash course yet again to face the Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And, why not? This Bengals team is hot coming into the playoffs. They are clicking on all cylinders. The defense is great. Burrow is playing at an MVP level with all his weapons now fully healthy. So I got to roll with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Bengals as well. The Ravens defense can shut down Joe Burrow though. They did earlier in the year, I think like week 5 or something like that. They held Joe Burrow to like 200 passing yards. So their defense could do it, but again, without Lamar here, it's a way different story. I'm not saying the Ravens should win the game, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's a little bit closer than we think because the Ravens play a lot of defensive games. They're used to not scoring. So I think it'll be a little bit closer, but the Bengals and Joe Burrow should be rolling to the next round.
For the last game of the wild card weekend, we got Dallas going on the road to Tampa. And as I mentioned earlier, Dallas is not good on grass fields, but this is more Brady against the Cowboys. He's 7-0 in his career, never lost to Dallas. And this seems like a Tom Brady year where somehow, some way, we're going to look back at it and, oh, of course, Tom Brady made another magical Super Bowl run. Just because this team's 8-9, seems like they're playing their best football here the last few weeks of the season. They're finally clicking. The Mike Evans Brady connection is back. Godwin has looked great with Brady. They finally found a run game. The defense has been stepping up. So it's tough to go with the Bucks here, but I can't bet against Brady, especially when he's undefeated against a team in his career.
Yeah, this is a really tough game to predict. I think this should be a really good one. Cowboys coming off that very ugly game against Washington, and Dak obviously throwing those interceptions. That's tough. I think they're going to play better this week, but Tampa is like something stupid like 7-0 against Dallas, or Tom Brady's 7-0 against Dallas or something like that. It's a crazy stat, and I don't think Tom Brady, as a single man now, I don't think he's coming all this way to lose to Dallas for the first time in his career. I gotta go with Tampa here.
And that's going to be it for this week's video. Make sure you guys come back next week to see how we did in our picks and to see what picks we're going to be going with in the divisional round. But until the next time, the Bench Buddies are out.
She never called back.